In 1960, the United States was still struggling to live up to the promise of equality. Though the Supreme Court had ruled in 1954, in Brown v. Board of Education, that racial segregation in public schools was unconstitutional, many Southern states resisted. They clung to the old ways, and change came slowly. But change did come. In New Orleans, a little girl named Ruby Bridges, just 6 years old, would become the face of that change. She was chosen, one of only a few black children, to integrate formerly all-white schools in the city. On November 14, 1960, Ruby walked into William Frantz Elementary School for the first time. She wore a white dress, carried her lunch, and held the hands of 4 U.S. federal marshals. Outside, chaos waited. Angry white protesters screamed, held signs, and hurled slurs. Some shouted death threats. Others waved small coffins with black dolls inside. The crowd was so furious that many white parents pulled their children out of the school that very day. Inside the building, Ruby was alone. Most teachers refused to teach her. Students stopped coming. But one teacher, Barbara Henry, a white woman from Boston, stepped forward. She taught Ruby in a classroom by herself, every single day. Ruby didn't miss a single day of school. She ate lunch alone. She played alone. But she smiled, and she kept coming back. Her strength didn't come from fame or power. It came from a quiet courage, the kind that children shouldn't have to carry, but sometimes do. Psychologists worried she'd suffer trauma, but Ruby simply said she prayed for the people yelling at her. When asked why, she said, because they need praying for. Her brave stand became a turning point in the fight for civil rights in America. And years later, that moment was immortalized in Norman Rockwell's famous painting, The Problem We All Live With, showing Ruby walking past graffiti and protesters, escorted by marshals, her eyes fixed forward. Brain moral: sometimes, heroes wear little white dresses and carry lunchboxes. Ruby Bridges taught the world that courage doesn't depend on size, age, or power, only heart.